There are really three steps to a good homily. 1, you preach Christ. 2, you make your point. And 3, you sit down. You preach Christ, you make your point, and you sit down. Well, I'm done. No. The saint we celebrate today, St. Peter Chrysologus, was known as an outstanding preacher. He got the nickname Golden Speech, which is what Chrysologus means. And he lived in a really interesting time at the end of the 300s and the beginning of the 400s. It's interesting because it was a time after which Christianity became legal. And when Christianity became legal and you can talk about it in the public sphere, of course there's all sorts of misinformation out there. False information, fake news about who Jesus is. So St. Peter Chrysologus, as Bishop of Ravenna in Italy, sought to combat that. And the way he did that was with great homily, great preaching. He preached Christ, he made his point in a very succinct and brief way, and he sat down. And I think each of those 3 points point to something important. First of all, we preach Christ. We don't preach ourselves, but means we know something about him. We have a relationship with him. 2, we make our point. Means that we have listened to the Word of God. We have let it infiltrate our hearts and seep into our hearts and to our minds, and we are able to apply it. And 3, we sit down. Means that we trust in what God is doing, not what we're doing. That God's the one who's also ultimately going to make those seeds of faith bear fruit. Each of those is important, but each of us challenge us as we go about preaching the good news today. St. Peter Chrysologus has over 170 homilies that have made it to the present day. Think about that, 1,700 years these homilies have spoken to people. So today, as you go about your day, how can you let your words speak to others? How can you preach Christ, make your point, and sit down so that God can do his work today?